I'm Kris Ortiz, and I hate garnish in my drinks.
Welcome to Grumble Goat. My name is Matt Labodka, and this is a show about all the small things that drive me insane. Let's grumble.
I go to a bar to drink alcohol. I don't want a tree or an orange peel or a leaf in my drink. Just give me the alcohol, please. The last thing I want to do when I walk into a bar is order a gin and tonic and see a whole grove of limes in my drink. I just want the alcohol and the mixer. I'm definitely not going to use it or even eat it, so why waste it? I don't even know why people put things in their drinks. Think about water. Water's fine the way it is, right? Alcohol is fine the way it is. You don't need to add a full-on like mint tree to your drink. I like the taste of straight alcohol and a mixer, so I don't sound like an alcoholic. I remember when I was in college, I would go to one of the really bad bars that were around the school. You would never order anything that was fancy. You'd probably get a Jack and Coke, not even a gin and tonic. That was too fancy. And I guess I got used to this life where not nice bars don't put any fruits or any kind of garnish in your drink because it's a college bar. I enjoy getting my drink without the natural wildlife that comes with a lot of these fancy drinks. Now, don't get me wrong. I love fruits, right? I like some vegetables, but similar to how pineapple doesn't go on pizza, I really don't see the value in garnish in an alcoholic drink. You ever go to a sporting event, and while most people get beer, I like to get a little fancy. I like to get a nice little drink, get back to my seat, watch the game, talk to my friends, knowing full well, okay, I just spent probably $16 in this drink. It better be pure alcohol. The last thing I want to see after spending almost $20 on a drink is a tree or a peel or something in the drink that came from a living being such as a plant. Leave the plants alone. Leave the fruit trees alone. No one wants your orange peels, your cherries. No, all these things are a waste. They bring absolutely no value to the drink whatsoever. Maybe I should just get beer. I don't know. I'm Kris Ortiz, and I hate garnish in my drinks. And that's the grumble.
Grumble, 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 grumble.
What?
Grumble, 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 grumble. What's got your goat?
For the latter half of the show, we'll bring in my better half, Veronique, for an unpretentious look and a segment we call
What's got your goat?
We have a guest grumbler with us
Oh my
today.
gosh, it's another guest grumbler.
Another guest grumbler so soon.
We have friends.
We have too many friends.
Oh,
They keep
we
coming.
do.
Chris Ortiz is here with us.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Chris. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm super happy to be with you guys.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Now that we're vaccinated.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm super excited for this. So,
Yeah.
Yes,
how are you
like
guys?
you walked in the door and I screamed at you. I was so happy to see your face.
Your
Yeah.
eyes like got huge, got like all lit up. I'm like, I haven't seen you in like over a year. Hello, how
Yeah.
are you?
Yeah.
Totally.
Now, Chris, you are the host of your own podcast.
I am. Yeah.
Yeah, the Reboot Rewind. How's that going?
It's good. So we are about 6 episodes in.
Amazing.
Yeah, and I've been listening and it sounds great.
Thank you, man. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
what's it about? What do you do?
So it's a movie podcast. We talk about movie reboots. So every episode will take the original version of a film and then talk about that for about 30 minutes. And then we'll talk about the reboot for another 30 minutes.
Amazing.
And then after that, we'll discuss, does the reboot hold up compared to the original?
Totally.
So what's an example? What's one of the show or
Yeah.
what's two of the movies you've done?
My favorite so far has been Psycho. So we
Cool.
did the original Psycho from 1960, I believe. And then we did the remake in 1998 with Vince Vaughn.
Yeah.
How about that? You know, I didn't see the Vince Vaughn version. I've only
That's good.
seen the original.
Yeah, just spare yourself.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I was about to ask
Okay.
you. I was about to ask you what the verdict was, but it
Yeah,
sounds like we just
spare
got the
yourself.
verdict.
So long
the
story
Hitchcock film is still the classic go-to.
Yep. The Gus Van Sant version is essentially a shot-for-shot remake of the original. Like down to the music,
Oh,
down
wow.
to every single shot is a shot-for-shot remake. And you would think, okay, well, it's more modern, it's in color, it'd be kind of cool. It is absolutely terrible.
Because I believe, speaking of color, they used Hershey's syrup in the original
Yes.
for the blood. Yeah. So yeah, if you colorize that, it just wouldn't look like blood at all.
Not at all.
I just wonder in the creative meetings, they're like, the Hitchcock version of Psycho is already perfect. why are we doing this again? Right.
I love that. It's like, you know what? It's time we revisit Psycho. Oh, great. What kind of take do you want to take on it? I want to take Hitchcock's take on it.
Yeah.
Wait, no,
Hitchcock's
that's
take.
already done though.
It's already perfect.
Exactly.
Like I can't fail if I already do someone else's work instead, you know.
Yeah, that's
color.
like that's
In
like
color,
copying
right.
on your homework at school and then being like, okay, you can copy off me, just like change it a little bit to make it look like it's not mine, and then you just copy it exactly. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Incredible.
That's such a bad movie.
Yes,
So
everyone should check out
Reboot Rewind. Yeah, the Reboot Rewind. Where can we find it?
Spotify, they're on Apple Podcasts, anywhere you get your podcasts, and we have a website, so rebootrewindpodcast.com.
Gnarly.
Beautiful.
That's fantastic. So how's life otherwise besides the podcast?
Life is good, man. I haven't seen you guys in a while. It's
been a while.
Yeah, we
I
used to be
know.
roommates.
Yeah, we lived together for several years.
Several years.
Yes,
Yeah.
and Kris has the most beautiful little Jupiter kitty cat, which I call Neptune. I almost called her Neptune right now because I thought that was funny when I met Jupiter.
Yeah, but then according to the veterinarian, she's no longer on Neptune. Now she is a Jupiter. She's
Yeah,
put on
she's a little big.
gained some girth.
A little big. I took
little
her to the vet, and it was weird because you have to like surrender your pet because of COVID. You have
Right.
to just give your creature to the person, like hope that
Oh, weird.
survives.
What a weird back alley transaction.
Yeah, it's
that
really
sounds like.
strange.
Right, and like you know that your animal is freaked out.
Now, what I'm picturing when the quarantine started, they started saying, oh, these old pubs in France have these old wine holes where you just shove the wine glass
Totally,
through
yeah,
it. Now
Italy.
I'm picturing you just shoving Jupiter through this little hole in a brick wall.
Right.
Like, good luck, cat.
You need to make more stairs so she has more exercise to get to the window, though.
I want to get her a cat wheel. I really want to get her a cat wheel.
You should put
Like,
it in
I'm
the
picturing a
windowsill.
hamster wheel. You mean like a hamster wheel?
Yeah, but like they imagine it like huge. It would take up that your entire back wall.
Oh, you could like do like a mill. You could grind your own wheat.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
They make these like cat wheels. It's crazy.
Cat-powered mill.
It's like a cheetah running. They're like,
Yeah.
it expands because
Pretty
it
much.
sprints.
Yeah. Could you hook up a battery to that thing and like get a charge out of it?
You probably could. I can probably like finagle something. I really want to put some sort of like treat or like a fish.
You're like, I'm going to get a dead animal and put it.
Hang it from
gonna,
the ring.
And then you'd have to,
No
you'd have
dead
to draw
birds.
Dead birds.
you'd have to draw segments on the wheel like it's The Price is Right, and then guess
Yes.
which.
That,
oh my gosh, that's a good TikTok.
Yeah.
Right? Where is Jupiter going to land?
Look at that. That's a great idea.
That's a V-purpose project, I feel like.
Yeah, and then like I can use it for multiple things. You know, like what am I having for dinner tonight? Or
Absolutely. You could put a bunch of concerts on there and just pick one randomly.
Like I'm gonna go to the Foo Fighters concert. I don't want to go, but the wheel picked it, so we're doing it.
Doing it.
Now I'm picturing Jupiter as more of a Saturn because she's got a ring orbiting around her.
Yes.
So I realize everyone here is drinking.
Yeah.
I guess my question to you guys is, what are your thoughts on garnish and drinks?
Garnishing drinks.
Oh, garnish and drink.
Now this is something. Now I've worked many years as a bartender.
Yes.
Yeah, so I have lots of thoughts when it comes to garnish and drinks.
This is interesting. I was training someone recently and he was garnishing the drinks and he's like touching the fruit. And I stopped him and I said, the garnishes are going to go in the drink. So you really don't want to touch them.
Right.
So you have to stab it and not touch. So you have to do your best, even though the lychees like to roll around in there, the cherries, the olives, you got to try not to touch it.
You were gonna eat that.
But sometimes when you got more olive juice than you got olives in the container,
Forget about it.
I mean, you're trying to go spearfishing here.
Yes.
It's like bobbing for apples, but like
Yes.
you're not using two sides of your teeth. You're using one.
Yes, and your section's on fire, and you're like, if this lychee wouldn't just stab on
One.
this thing, right? And you're like, and you can't, like, you don't want to put your hand in the juice because then you're sticky, and then you're putting
It
the drink
smells.
down,
Yeah.
right?
And you smell like olive juice.
Yes, or
Yep.
juice.
So the reason I ask, I hate garnish in my drinks. No matter what the drink is, I absolutely dislike it completely.
You don't like garnish at all.
At all. When I order a drink at a bar, I will ask them to hold whatever tree you're about to put in my drink.
Yes.
Stop.
I love that. When I'm at a table, I do appreciate when they say
Yeah.
no fruit.
Save the vegetables, save the fruit. Like I just want the alcohol. I don't need a lime because I don't
Right.
use it. I just want the booze.
Right. And do you put it on the plate? Is that
Yeah.
what you do?
Now,
Well-
but wait a second. What about a Bloody Mary?
I can't even drink those 'cause I'm allergic to tomatoes.
Oh, you can't have tomato. Okay.
So-
all right. That checks out.
So it actually like doesn't affect me.
Now,
but,
wait a second. What about like a mojito?
I purposely don't order those because of how much mint is in that drink.
It's the mint floating in it.
Yeah.
See, now I'm behind you there
Yeah.
because I don't like the mint.
It's too
right?
much.
When you got a bunch of mint floating around there in there with ice, you're like, well, that's just clogging my
It
straw.
looks dirty. Like
Yeah.
I don't really want to drink this.
Yeah.
You got to run this through the dishwasher one more time.
Multiple times.
Yeah. And also, it looks like spinach. In a mojito, when they don't strain the mint out, it literally looks like a bog. You know, like a
Love
wetlands.
It looks like Yoda's swamp. Like, I love old fashioned. It's one of my favorite drinks. And most of the time they'll put like an orange peel.
Yes.
And now tell them just like hold the orange tree, like just give me the alcohol, please.
Right.
Love it.
And they're like, oh, like, and they're usually appreciative because that's like one less orange they have to like peel.
Yes.
Right.
One thing about the garnish, though, from a bartender's perspective, is like that's part of my showmanship. That's how I earn my tip. So when I take a fresh orange and I'm peeling off a fresh slice of that juicy orange skin, and then I'll take my lighter,
Yeah,
right?
that's
and
the
I'll
trick.
I'll light the lighter and then squeeze the orange skin so that those oils burst into flame.
Yep.
That is
and
cool.
then you get the oohs and ahs from the patrons at your bar.
Yep.
That's when you're earning tips. Now, if somebody says no garnish, please, I feel like I'm just squirting some tonic into a gin, and there's no showmanship there.
That takes the performance out of the bartending.
Yeah.
Yes.
See, now that I know that, like, I probably wouldn't eat the garnish or use it whatsoever, but I would stay for the show.
Now,
Yeah,
most garnishes aren't meant to be eaten.
They
Now,
have to be edible, but
Right,
Most
but-
people will
but
not eat the
when
peel,
you-
for
when you-
example.
Right.
Yeah, when you put a little wedge of lime in a gin and tonic, you're not intending them to eat
Right.
that lime.
I think it's a waste of fruit, honestly, and waste of like a tree. Like,
And let me throw this at you. Sometimes you'll have one of those alpha males come up to order a drink, and they'll lean over the bar, and they'll just reach into your garnish tray and start eating olives as they order a drink. And you're like, what madness is this?
that's disgusting.
oh yeah, I feel like I've had to.
That
They're not
No, you're
allowed.
not allowed.
No,
I
no,
figured
no,
that.
no.
Like, that's
not.
definitely not a thing. Okay.
That
No, no, no.
violates every rule of
Every
sanitation.
health code rule, absolutely yes. Yes, we are not even allowed to touch them like that. We have
This
to
isn't a
focus
buffet,
it.
sir. This is.
It's not a buffet.
Right.
Stop eating the olives. Yeah,
Yeah, but some
exactly.
people treat it like a buffet.
Now, how do you feel about peanuts? Peanuts at the bar. Collective pretzels and collective peanuts as you're sitting there drinking your beer, you're having conversations, and
Yeah.
you're like, oh, peanuts. And you just like grab and put them in your mouth.
So there's a really good place in Brooklyn during normal times where they give you
In the before
in
times?
the before the dark times. They give you peanuts at the bar, shells on the floor. Like it's one of those places. Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
I love
Old
that.
school.
Love
So
that.
both of you
Throwing
have-
the shells on the floor.
Yeah, like and you walk in and there are all these shells on the floor.
When I'm in a place like that, I feel like a goat is going to go by and like eat the shells. You know?
You would hope because
Right.
at least someone or something is getting some value out of these shells,
Right.
as opposed to just them being on the floor littering the bar.
My take on communal snacks at the bar, like if
Yeah.
there's a tray of chips or whatever, I don't go for them.
Yeah.
I don't mind them being there, and I don't judge the people that do go for them.
Right.
But I'm like, everybody's standing there. I'm good not eating out of that, but I'm not judging anybody. Like, I've been the guy putting out those snacks, and people will be like, can I get a separate jar? And be like, yeah,
really-
yeah, you can take it, but then other people are going to see that and think it's communal and eat out of your jar too. Like, it's not going
Right.
to change the fact that,
Right.
like, this is the communal snack. Like,
Right.
you can pay money and I will have the kitchen send you an appetizer. But if you want free, you're taking other people's hand snacks.
You're taking free with COVID potentially.
Right.
Not really.
You take if you want the COVID pretzels, they're right here.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
There is, Kris, the opposite of you. There are the people that want
Extra.
a tequila and soda with 8 limes squeezed into it.
Why?
Yeah.
Why would anyone
They
want?
want extra olives, even if you bring them 6. Oh, this is amazing. You did what I asked you for, and I want more.
It's like I asked for pickles. There are only like 5 pickles here. Can you bring me more pickles, please?
It's wild because like no customer goes into the kitchen and says to the chef, 5 extra French fries. While you're making that 5 extra French fries.
please.
But if you're sitting at the bar and you order martini, you're like, do 4 extra olives.
Right.
I don't like gin. Can you replace vodka with a gin?
Yeah.
Also, instead of a squeeze of lemon, I prefer lime. And can we do 2 limes? And then I like olives.
Yeah.
Right, and you're
It's
like-
no longer that special cocktail.
Yes.
You've, like ripped out every good thing out of that cocktail.
You're like, okay, I have to literally write
Great.
all this down and tell the bartender in because I
Please,
have.
record your order into my phone. I will play it for the
Right, just to make sure I did it right.
Right.
You know how people like to block you? It's like when you're pouring water at a table, there's someone at the table that takes a drink of water. And that you're like, okay, I filled everyone's water, and now this one person is drinking this water. So do you wait for them to finish?
Well, in that case, just you get to do the Van Wilder move. You get to be like, chug, 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 chug.
I
and
never even thought
and
of
the
that.
whole restaurant gets
Yeah, and then the whole table gets involved. Your tip goes up and you get to ridicule and embarrass that one person.
And they'll never do that
That's
again.
a great night. Yeah.
Depending on how far deep they are in alcohol, maybe they're going to love the attention and they're going to do it every time. Every time you come over, they're going to take their full glass and be like, and you'll be like, chug, 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 chug.
You become that person. Like they come to see you just for that experience, just for the chugging experience.
Right. So garnishing drinks, bartenders, they get very creative. Sometimes they like to put edible flowers in there.
You know what I hate?
What?
Edible flowers.
Yeah. What? It's a waste. It's a waste.
It's like, what are you
Such
talking
a
about?
waste.
Just because they're technically not poisonous doesn't mean they're edible.
Well, that's
Get that out of here. It's a flower.
I feel like flowers are bitter. Have you ever eaten a flower before?
Purposely have not. So like I kind of like, so my whole thing with like garnishing drinks moves over the food too.
Okay.
Like if I order a steak and fries, I don't need to see half a lettuce stalk over my steak.
That's the artistry.
Because all I'm gonna do is move it and eat my food.
Right.
Why do we stop at like a parsley sprig? Like why not just put a red rose right on top of a steak?
Now, when there are weird garnishes in drinks,
When it comes to mixology and things like that, there becomes a sort of competition to like be fancier than the next drink, you know? So it's like I've seen people
one up each other.
I've seen people take like an atomizer
my
like
God,
and
those
put like
squeezy bottle ones.
spritz the glass with orange essence before they build the drink. But there's a competition to like have it be as fancy as possible.
Presentation.
Because that takes more time than like just spraying.
Yeah.
Part of a garnish's job is to make a drink beautiful. It's to finish a drink in more than one way. And it's not necessarily because you want a squeeze of lime. It's because you want it to be pretty at the end.
And you want that Instagram photo. That's
it.
Yeah,
one
nowadays
thing.
you have to make a drink Instagrammable.
That's the thing. Like I will say, you know what? I won't push back on the garnish because I'm gonna take a picture of this drink. It does look nice with a garnish, and it has to look good.
This has been an episode of Grumble Goat.
Thanks for listening.
I'm Matt Labodka.
I'm Veronique Hurley. Please subscribe.
I hate when people say please subscribe.
Grumble, grumble, grumble.
I really want to put some sort of like treat or like a fish